now.
Oh my gosh.
That's the best way to intro a show. Hello, all you people in YouTube land. Welcome to your face holes. Welcome to Monday/Tuesday, Amigos and Co. It's why you're here. We love you. All that sort of stuff. We want to welcome Mr. Legion Vapes from Northern New South Wales of Australia, and also the Masked Wonder of turn that off. The Masked Wonder, Chris Vandal, currently in full space out mode. Chris has had a couple of potatoes with his computer, but we told him to leave it like that because it looks amazing. The dude, there's a dude behind you, bro, and he's looking at you kind of funny. But
that's my dad.
we'll make sure we tell you when he creeps up on you a little bit further. Chris, I don't know how much you've said out and about, but it's really, really nice to have you back, man. Back in the land of the living, in the YouTubes and all that sort of stuff. Are you doing good, man?
Yeah, I put it on Facebook and Instagram. It's no secret. I caught COVID. Oh, sorry guys. Hold on. I want to make sure nobody else gets sick. Hold on. Let me find this. Where is it at? All right, there we go. That's not the right mask, but anyways. Yeah, so got COVID. I was fucking... it was hurting. It was kicking my ass pretty good for a while there, man. Like, it's rough, man. And, like, I'm not here to tell you what you believe in or if your immune system's weak or not. But no bullshit. If I only got 30% of it from being double shot vaccinated and you have a chance to get it, I would highly suggest getting your vaccine because that shit was terrible. It felt like Freddy Krueger was finger fucking my brainstem with his fucking nails and scratching it. First 2 nights I couldn't sleep that well. Like, it was terrible. But anyways, I'm back now. I got my rabbit ears. Make sure to follow the link in my bio to see my butthole.
Oh dear. I think also my YouTube, like the actual, what do you call it? The back end is frozen as well. So please let me know that people are typing in chat and all that sort of thing. I guess I can refresh it. It won't interrupt the stream, will it? If I refresh it?
Shouldn't.
Shouldn't? Shall I do that?
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm doing it.
I just take a risk.
I just pressed the refresh.
Take a risk.
Yeah, screw it. Is this the first show that we've had for Amigos in January? No. We had one right after New Year.
Yeah.
We've had a couple.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I was going to say, man, we're doing it fucking right with all the potatoes.
Yes. It's all good. All good. So the band is back together again. We're taking it on the road. So happy to have... stoked that everybody's back. You remind me, I don't know if it was an Australian kids show. It was called Molly Grubs. And exactly what you're doing right now with just your face and a trippy background, but you should have silver makeup on and talk in a really strange voice. It is excellent shed time viewing for any of those that want to look for it on YouTube. Molly Grubs was the name of that, and it was LSD tripped out. It was a very strange kids show.
I just find it really disturbing how someone keeps reaching into Chris's head and pulling out potatoes.
Yeah. Scratch my ear. Yeah. Scratch my ear.
Yeah, Rex says he had it last week. Dude, that shit, dude, it's no joke. That shit'll fuck you up. Like, if you and all that stuff. But yeah, to be safe out there, guys. Don't go licking doorknobs or whatever. I've learned my lesson, apparently.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Let's we'll get into it early. We're 7 minutes in. Let's just do the buffet. The buffet. Let's get it done. Mr. Vandal, did you actually? That's a good question. Did you vap during?
Dude, you can't, so it's like, you know what I mean? Like, when we talk about most of us are ex-smokers here. And you remember how we always talk about, like, if you're sick, you're still gonna smoke a cigarette. Oh, I still vaped. It didn't bug me though. I didn't cough extra or anything like that. And I got lucky enough. I guess I got like the off-brand version of COVID. I could still taste and smell everything. and all that. So I still got lucky enough for that, I guess, depending on who you got to be around.
Yep.
But yeah, I still vaped the whole time. It's funny though, because it hit me in the middle, not in the middle, but it was like Thursday night last week, right? And I had it, put it on my desk at work. You know, I work at a vape place, you know, a vape wholesaler and a manufacturer, and so usually on Fridays I re-up my juice for my personal stash. You know what I mean? And so I had it there on my notes that, oh, blah blah blah. Excuse me. Get personal juice, you know, like, you know, that's what I write to remind myself to get stuff. And I had like 80 of these spread around the house with like this much juice in it, like a finger's width. And I was sitting there and I was vaping the whole time, and I was like trying to put it in my little pot. It's like, you know, I was over here, like, you know, I was like, crap, I'm gonna run out of it, blah blah blah, and all that stuff. But no, I vaped the whole time. And again, I'm not a doctor, so don't take any of this medical advice. But for me personally,
yeah,
it was fine. Like, I was vaping. I was also indulging in marinara. And for me personally, it didn't really help with pain. But I got to tell you, eating an edible while I was sick with COVID, that was kind of fun. And, like, that's the plus side of it. I was freaking, you know, I was that girl in that commercial that they showed in the 90s where she's just like...
yeah, just say no.
Yeah.
Just say yes, please.
I was melted.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I finally found that strain. But yeah, so
yeah,
it was pretty rough. But anyways, we were talking about what we're vaping on. I already showed you Anarchist Orange and my Caliburn.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I lost one, right? And I didn't have one at the house. It was like Tuesday last week. And I was like, man, I need to stop doing this, you know, because I lose these a lot, or I step on them, or I drop them at the dog park. No way I'm putting it near my mouth again, you know what I mean? And so the day before I got sick and had to stay home and all that stuff, I bought 3 more of these and a Cocoa. So I was like, all right, I'm always stocked. And then I had like 80 vapes and no juice almost. So
yeah. Sorry, Steve. Go on.
I was just gonna say, how many Caliburns have you been through?
I would say. So I probably pay like what, $12 of these. I added it up the other day, about $275 worth.
Yeah, but that's your
like
premier device, though. So
yeah.
You know.
Oh, it's my favorite device. And here's the thing: like, I've only had like 2 break, like stop working or fry out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you try to vape it and it just keeps burning.
Yeah.
I've had that happen like 1 or 2, and then one other one, it just wouldn't work. But beyond that, besides my own follies, I've had no problems with Caliburn, so that's why I'm going to keep, you know, I keep using them, because like they're great devices. I love it.
If that was my premier device as well, I'd probably have 4 or 5. Like, indeed, you know, like just interesting thing. Neil Pitts has said there. I didn't have any problems vapping when I had the C. He went to 6 milligram, and I asked up to 6 milligram, and he said yes. And I totally get that. Like the. You know, because also, I mean, the Rona has been described as slightly different than a cold, right? You don't get all the phlegmtastic, all that situation. So if you don't have that, then you know, the vibes on a little bit of nicotine dosing would probably actually be quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually did vape a lot. I did have like some coughs where I was coughing up boogers and stuff, but it wasn't like the ones where like when you have like a flu or a cold where you breathe in and you hear it just going crazy, you got to cough it out. Like, everyone, I'd just be sitting there, you know, in the chair, you know, just being bored as hell and miserable. Then all of a sudden I'd be like, and then spit out a fat loogie.
Yeah. There you go. And yeah, went to 6 milligram in restricted DL and stayed at 3 with DL. Yeah.
Also, I gotta be right back. I'm sorry. Someone needs help with groceries.
Oh, you're good, dude. You're good. Steve, would you like to take over and show us what you buffet?
Yeah, it's dead simple today. Actually, I've got the Hadron Light with the Aromomizer Supreme V3 on top. Little kit. Just finished the review, so that's up for tomorrow morning. Nice little setup. In there, I've got a little bit of caramel swirl from Vaping Fossil. Aside from that, I've got the Helheim 5, still vaping this.
Nice.
Pretty soon up for review on the DB4. And in there, I've got some Moe's Vanilla Custard.
Oh.
Because I finished off the other stuff that... And here's the thing, I'm glad I did this. I went through a whole bottle of something else, and it was like hot sweetness, a little bit of burnt coil. It's not so good. Just kept vaping it, finished it. And I wasn't that thrilled. I was like, okay, it's a nice device, but I'm not thrilled by it, the tank. When I threw this in, I was like, oh, this thing has flavor. This thing has shitloads of flavor. Oh, yeah, the other liquid was crap. There's a whole bottle of crap liquid. Apparently, yeah. So point. I've learned this in the past, and I'm learning it again in the future, I'm sure. Always test things with a variety of juices. Make sure it's something you know well before you really comment on, it's flavorless, because I could have quite easily gone out and said, some unflattering things about this device. But 100%. It turns out the device is great.
Yeah. I often talk about that a lot when people, don't take their wicking or coils into account when they're, making an opinion about a device or whatever's. Yeah, 100%. So that's it.
That's it. Just the two today.
All right.
I mean, there's other stuff there, but it's stripped down, broken, needs rewicked, can't be bothered.
Yeah.
It's too fucking hot today.
Yeah.
And I know, I feel bad saying that on the internets, where I know, especially this time of day, a lot of our viewers are like, snow up to their windowsills, and they've got blizzards going down the East Coast and all that stuff. And I'm sitting here, it's like, it's almost 40 degrees, and it's just got every door open, every window open, and still sweating to death.
Yeah. Well, in the opposite side of Narnia down here, I live in a different quadrant of the country, and we're having a very, very calm 24 degrees Celsius here. So it's actually nice. I can actually drink a cup of coffee during the day and not be sweating my face off. I didn't plan it this way, but I do have a few borrowed devices. I have the Ravine Snowcap with a bridged V2 NFG edition in there. I do have the one I just set up on the live streams on Instagrams. That is the Kirch inside an SLR 2021 billet box. I also have the Tony B, what's up? Pulse with, what's in there? That's the other bridged V2 that I have with a little koala action going on in there. And the GT4S Typhon on the Snowcap Step. I have some of this in here, Mr. Overdrip's VC, which is very chewy. No, it's not that. It's vanilla custard. Some shakedown, some yenana, some custard cookie from Sad Boy, and some passion fruit pineapple from Frankenatticus 2 here in Australia. Yeah, that is it for that. But while we're talking about VAP stuffs, I actually got a couple of pictures together today. We're gonna have I don't know if you boys will be able to see it on the Zoom there, but we got some new VAP stuffs. That have been out. I'm sure everyone's probably already seen this, but this one here, which I'm showing on the YouTubes right now, is the new Reload dual coil RDA. Reload have come back from I guess a little bit of a hiatus. They kind of left, I guess, when all the stuff was happening in the US, and they've brought out a new RDA. Tell us in chat, are you excited? Do you like Reload products? And that one for me is there's a lot of honeycomb action going on underneath the deck there, and where they're placing the coils with a single slot. Oh, excuse me, like it'd be on both sides, but a single slotted airflow. On both sides, dual slotted, I guess you want to call it, but it looks pretty banging. I'm not sure if you fellas can see that. I should have shared the screen with you, but I really like the look of that one. US, and they've that was my voice there. Yeah, so a little bit of that new Reload. Have you seen it, Steve? Have you seen it, Chris?
Haven't seen it at all. Knew nothing about it. First I've heard.
Well, there you go. Yeah,
and I'm looking at the pictures now, though. That's it's pretty.
Yeah, it looks pretty.
I didn't even know they made vape stuff still.
There you go. Yeah, they kind of their website was up because I think I was looking into getting something. I know, when they brought out that that, what do you call that? A non-regulated chipped tube that was released. Their last thing that they released. Pardon me, and then kind of closed shop. And they weren't responding to emails or anything. So it's kind of a little bit weird that they've come back out again. Yeah. But their retail store is back open again, and you're able to make purchases from it. So interesting. But the dual coil RDA, they make some quite legacy stuff. I guess people are pretty passionate about Reload. But I saw that when was it? Maybe the start of the week, I think. The start of last week. And I was like, awesome, because dual coil RDAs, needs to be more of that. Nice to see
That
you.
that picture of that deck, just what I could see of there, actually does raise a question. I'm curious what you prefer. So that looks to be one of those decks where you have two sets of outer posts, and your coils go sort of in. So you're going to put one in and then the other in over top, just try and get it in there. What do you prefer? Do you prefer your post to be on the outside and both your coils sitting this way? Or do you prefer a center deck with your coils coming out from it? Sort of tree style.
I think ideally, I mean, it depends where the wicking legs are going to go, the cotton legs, but probably likely I'd prefer that they're, this way, because you can always shorten your legs to put a bit of space between the coils for airflow or for whatever reason, particularly if you're blurring down the center. What we don't know about that deck is, what's the ID of coils that you can throw in it, so if it's like that and you can only put 2.5s in there because there's so much, post on the outside that it is what it is. But I would prefer if the coils are unobstructed by a block, Having said that, I mean, there's plenty of addies that I use a lot that have a center block, so it's, I don't know, I'd prefer it, again, where the wicks go and that there's plenty of room for wicking channel and that whole situation. I guess the good thing is maybe that will kind of act like a bit of a heat sink on the outside, if there's not too much heat being transferred to the I guess both sides of the block, and that the airflow, because that will be a strange one. Sorry, I keep flicking between the picture, but I just want to go back to the picture again. You can kind of just make out that on the side of the wall where there's the hole that meets the slot, the big slot. So I guess it's then going underneath the deck and then coming out through the honeycomb straight under the coil. So the flavor on that thing with such, very specific, the way it's hitting the coil, it's going to be an absolute flavor banger, provided, those things of when you cut it down, that it's not going to, create a weird whistle or a weird kind of, turbulence, that whole thing. But yeah, I think it's going to be good. But also the Reload S RTA, had that same very directional airflow and all sort of thing, and, struggled to get a warm with feedback compression, vape from it, because it was an immense amount of air that were coming, from the, I guess, just not having enough chamber compression, and it was struggled to get a warm vape without, getting dry hits from it because you were pumping the wattage so hard. Matthew Welch saying there, I'll be happy to see a few more small companies bounce back. There's been a couple, which is really cool. But I just thought that was a banger, and Reload make good stuff. They hit the mark more often than not. So that will be an interesting one.
It looks good. They did a good job too with the depth of the juice well at the bottom of that RDA too, where the airflow is. Because I hate there's a lot of. I mean, I'm no expert. We all know this. I'm not the expert guy on here with anything vaping on the show, but I see too many times where they make the airflow right at the very cusp of, where the juice bell's this big, and then the airflow is just this much further above it. So whenever you're heating up, you're blowing hot fucking soup all over your hands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I like that, and I like also that they kept it just a simple little cut slit round.
Yeah. Because the diffusion will happen underneath the coils. Yeah. It looks like from that deck as well that it's a bit of the floating situation. So I guess if you're blurring through the top of that RDA, that it will, any excess will go back into the deck and back into to the situation from it. Also a little bit hard to see how big that actual addy is, because it kind of looks a little bit tall. I guess, it looks a little bit tall, but same again, I don't really care how big it is as long as it performs really, really well. So I saw that. A couple of other things. I have to wait for the delay, but I posted this on Twitter earlier today. It was one of those stupid Facebook ads that came up in my feed, and it was for a clothing company, and it was this. This is a hat with the Camel logo on it, and it says Smoke Across. And I know that Camel probably had a lot to do with a lot of promotional stuff in the day. I want to know, is that real? Is that a real campaign that they did? Is that just, or is that, some company just using, inappropriately and illegally, the Camel logo? I've never seen that before. Have either of you seen that before? Whilst you're waiting for the...
Still waiting for
So, a lot of that stuff I don't know if that's real for sure. I've never seen that. But that's very common, and a lot of times, like, if you go on, like, Wish and stuff, you can find Marlboro branded, like, jackets and, like, like the old Joe the Camel stuff. Like, it's pop culture. Like, whether you smoke or not, it's pop culture. Like, because you recognize the logos and stuff like that. But for some reason, in the last few years, I've noticed a huge push. Mowgli in the chat, Joe Chemo, is that a lot of that stuff, like from the 90s and stuff like that, it's all it's all brands that we saw, or the 80s, even if you're older, And so a lot of that stuff, it's swaggy, it's like Supreme, but Supreme, it's like, they put Supreme on everything, Supreme socks, Supreme condoms, you know what I mean? Yeah. Just make it cool, and half that stuff's not even licensed. Yeah. So I don't think that that's licensed, because most of the times if you get stuff that's like Camel branded or whatever, it's a trucker hat like mine and just has Camel. And that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It takes you 37,000 cartons in 8 years of your life to earn one.
A quick glance while you guys were chatting showed me that Camel used to, like in the 80s, they were a sponsor of Supercross in the States. And this is just basically a take on that. And it's sort of a almost humorous, almost funny, but not really.
Yeah.
That's
very
why
ironic.
As Chris said, well, with Wish and Redbubble, where all my stuff is, there's not a lot of IP protection. Yeah, I mean, even a big company like Redbubble, where I go get all my stuff done, my stuff is legit because it's for me. But if you go digging through there, I mean, like all these posters on my back wall, they're not legit. They didn't come from the theaters or anything. They're just knockoffs.
Yeah. It was an interesting one.
I have the same poster as Steve too. Like, you can't see it, but the Nuka-Cola one. Yeah. I got it for $4 on Wish.
Actually, my Nuka-Cola one is legit. It's the only one.
You're the only one in the world that bought a legit Nuka-Cola poster.
Actually, no. My stepson bought the game, and he got the whole extended loot pack, and then he got bored of it, and I inherited it.
I'm going to come out publicly and say I don't know what it is that you're talking about at all.
Fallout. So it's that poster behind Steve. That's on. If you're looking at him on the left with that girl, she's in like a spacesuit. It's supposed to be retro-futuristic theme from the 1950s style of art, where she's drinking a Nuka-Cola, which is supposed to be their version of a Coca-Cola.
Right.
This invisible John Cena soda I just showed you. Yeah. And that's supposed to be like the branding for their thing, but it's from the video game Fallout. Right. And it's from that world. Yeah.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my son.
The boss is here.
The boss is here. Hello. We have to go outside now. Come on now. Hold, please. Come
on. And while he does that, let's double check the chat. You guys are being surprisingly quiet. Quiet. Yeah. Matthew Welch. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing when I looked at that. It looked like a 20 or 22. It doesn't look like a 24 or 25. It looks kind of small. Now, if that was a 25 or 28 with that deck, I would be stoked. I mean, that actual deck. Yeah, that reload. Like, imagine that as a 28. You'd have room for like some fuck off clothes in there. It would just be amazing.
Surely that's 24, 25 and above. Surely that's not a 22. Surely not. It'd be too small. It'd be tiny, and that
it would be. It would be absolutely minuscule.
Yeah. No. It's got to be a modern sizing. Yeah. A little bit of news, a little bit of advocacy news. This is also a few days. Oh, sorry, Steve. Did you want to say something there?
No.
Oh no. Okay.
No.
I had the.
I was excited. You have news.
Oh, a little bit of news.
I was like,
no
news.
Yes. Kind of not really. This one here is Mr. Mendelssohn's Stop Smoking, Start Vaping is now available, downloadable as an ebook. The RRP is $12.95, and the USD, which is the United States Freedom Dollars, is $9.95. You can get it on. Actually, it hasn't got a link there for Kindle, but Amazon US, Amazon AU, ePublication, Booktopia. More information is on via his website, but I guess the time is now. It is available as an ebook, so you can have it instantaneously to your device. You can buy it for somebody else. You could and send them the link. That whole situation there. And I know we've been talking about it, but Colin Mendelssohn should be given a Nobel Peace Prize.
It deserves to be talked about.
Yes. So it was really, really good. I'm sure that he may feel a little bit differently and probably would have wanted the hardcovers, going out to more and more people. But the fact that it's now available electronically means that it can go to anyone and everybody. There's probably more mobile phones in the world than there are,
You can put it on your Zune.
100%, dude. So that's some other good news. And something that I did see also this morning. Sorry, I'm taking over here, fellas. But I thought this might inspire a good conversation. This was Mr. Charles Gardner. Charles Gardner tweeting this morning a stealth vaping question for ex-smokers who vape nicotine. Do you know how to do it? Talking about stealth vaping. Do you do it on airplanes, other public spaces? Do you think the exhalations may be harmful to bystanders? And do you feel guilty? This is a living thread. He's asking to add your comments. Stealth vaping, we've kind of talked a little bit about it on the show over probably quite a few times. It made me actually think about really, because at first I was like, no, I certainly don't vap on planes. But then as I was thinking about it, really, there are a few other places that I probably shouldn't be taking a sneaky toot, but I do. So,
You've had a stealth vape in the bathroom at any and every place you've had a bathroom. I admit it.
Not all of them,
most of them.
No,
the longer you're there, the more likely it is to happen.
The longer I'm there, the more likely it is to happen. But it's very much it can be very black and white for me. It's not like all bathrooms are the same, and I treat them all in the same way with stealthy vapping. But
Adam wonders why we call him the dad.
Yeah, right. But so I had to 100%, go back on my word of saying, be respectful and don't be stupid. And okay, so I have done it, and there's no point lying about it. Yeah.
It's about using common sense, I think. If you go into the bathroom and there's like 8 people there, and someone's helping their little kid, holding them up to the urinal or whatever, you don't go into the stall and start just huffing clouds. No. Sneaky little vape there? Probably not. On the other hand, I'm officially against stealth vaping, but unofficially, when I've gone to the movies, halfway through, I invariably have to pee. Everyone's in the movies. There's nobody here. The hallways are empty. The bathroom is empty. The people are bagging up the old popcorn, getting ready to throw it out. Fuck it. 3, 4.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm just not. If I don't breathe, okay, it's fine. Oh, what did I miss? We'll go through that every time.
Yeah.
It hasn't happened in 2 years because I don't go out anymore. But
yeah. It's really interesting.
I don't do it at the mall though, which is really weird. Like we go to the mall, we're walking around, and I can go to the bathroom. If no one's there, I wouldn't even think to bring it out.
Yeah.
In fact, 9 times out of 10, I'll leave my vape in the car.
Yeah. It's if you click on the link and you have a look at the thread that's been created, or the answers, it's really a very people are kind of a little bit, I guess, like me. If it's appropriate, but that's a very grey area. Yes, but then you'll get a couple of comments in there that people are like, "That's all I do. All I do is stealth vape. I'll vape anywhere, anytime, anyhow. Here's my technique." It's Oh, there, Mowgli is saying there, unflavoured for stealth. There you go. No identifiable odour. And I have to say, I've actually never vaped unflavoured e-liquid.
I've actually vaped unflavoured. We had some sitting around. It was actually for the wife, and she quite liked it. She's forgotten she liked it. Actually, I should mention that to her. We give it a try, and it's a little bit sweet because it's the natural sweetness of PG, but not heavily sweet. If you're used to heavily sweetened American e-liquids, you probably wouldn't even notice. But it's actually not that bad. It's not that bad. And yeah, I hadn't even thought about that. That's actually a brilliant. Not that way. I'm suggesting vaping where you shouldn't, but it's kind of a brilliant workaround.
It is.
Like if you don't want your parents to hear,
or you don't want the the bathroom, the communal bathroom to smell like strawberry shortcake, then unflavored. Yeah.
I'm on the other side of the fence than you guys on this one. I'd rather have a flavored vape and then everyone smell that it smells good instead of them thinking I'm smoking marijuana. Well, that's something that I have to think about here in Vegas where it's legal to do it. Because, like, I've been waiting for, like, the bus or something, and I'm just ripping, because I'm like, okay, I'm going to be on this bus for 20 minutes. Rip, and I blow it out. And then the bus driver will be like, you smoking weed, man? No, I'm not. I'm doing this. But what would freak me out more than the smell would be just seeing the cloud in a place where you shouldn't have a cloud. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. If you're stealth vaping properly, you wouldn't see the cloud. You're supposed to hold that shit in, bro.
Yeah.
A ghost. I'm not. Yeah, that's what Neil Pitts in the said in the chat is like a ghost hit. That's what we call it when you indulge in marinara or whatever. You hold it in.
Yeah.
But I gotta be honest with you. I don't want to hold in vape, like nicotine vapor. Like, if I do it, I do the thing where I blow it out my shirt. I blow it down in my shirt, and then I keep walking so it looks like it's flying around me instead of from me. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But as far as stealth vaping, I don't do it often, but I do catch myself out of habit, like especially at the grocery store, if no one's around me, and like, I'm not watching for no one to be around me, but usually no one's ever around me. I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh, soda, ketchup. What the fuck am I doing?
Yeah. I've done that too.
I do that all the time.
There's
never ever have your vape in your hand. If you can't vape there, if you're walking around and you run into your friend and your friend's got their brand new baby and they're showing you, put that fucker in your pocket because
Joke's on you. If you have a baby, we're not friends anymore. No.
No, I'm honest. Like you will have it in your hand and you'll be out on the street and they will like, you got a little baby, and you'll be like, oh, coochie coo. Yeah.
There's been a lot.
What the fuck?
A lot more replies that have been added, and overwhelmingly people are saying yes. I guess that's a good thing that people are being truthful. But the amount of people that have a toot on a plane is a little surprising to me. I guess because I'm vanilla AF, because I just wouldn't, I couldn't, and we've all set off an alarm inadvertently, being in a room or those kind of things when you've got too much cloudage going on. So I'd be so paranoid about getting that, supposed fine that they fine everybody if you set off the thing. But there's a few people in there saying they're stealth vaping with a big device, not just necessarily a pod device. But
I never understood that.
Yeah, you could do it, but you need to hold your lungs or learn how to, cycle your inhale exhale to make sure that nothing came out.
Yeah.
So that will be a very interesting thread to keep an eye on, just if you're interested. I agree that stealth vaping, all you need to do is watch Dr. Roberto Sussman's again, I keep talking about him, Dr. Sussman's piece on Scope, which is available on YouTube. I haven't got the link for it, but there's 2 of his streams from that Scope live stream they did, which is outstanding information, particularly about like the dangers of passive vapor and that whole situation. It's more dangerous to cook a steak or to use an old school vacuum than it is to inhale exhaled
I've been
vapor.
fortunate enough to not have to go on a plane since I've started vaping for so it's been about 5 years since I've been on a plane now, 4 or 5 years. But I'll be honest with you, if I'm on a plane and no one's around me and it's like over 5 hour flight, I'd probably stealth. I wouldn't get up and go to the bathroom though. I would, like I said, because I know this is gonna be weird, whatever. Long story short, if you're drinking Big Rick, do it. If I wear a sweater or a jacket, I always tuck my shirt in. I'm just used to that because when I was in the military, you have a blouse and then you have your undershirt, and you always tuck it in because then it doesn't pull up on your shirt. And you don't get to see my beer belly and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So it comes in handy. And if I have stealth vape before, I try not to, but and I blow it down in there, and since it's tucked in, it doesn't really come out. You know what I mean? and then I just get a bunch of chest hair that smells like tropical fruit punch or whatever the hell I'm vaping.
Yeah.
What happens though if you blow a big cloud down there and it's all held in there, and then you come back?
Yeah.
That's the second hit. That's where you take it like.
Because
Or-
see, here's the thing. I vape in bed. I'm lying back. I'm like not quite vertical, and I'll vape and I'll blow out. I'm reading, vape and I'll blow out, vape and I'll blow out, and then I'll just do this. And the amount that is collected in here, like this is a big sponge. This thing right here, it just saturates and it doesn't go anywhere. So when you squish it,
But here's the thing: I haven't been in this situation in a long time where or that would happen for me, where I've had to stealth vape. I guess, you know what I mean? Because like at home, I vape inside. You know, I air well aired areas, make sure it's nowhere near the dogs and stuff like that. Or in like, luckily enough, I work for a vape manufacturer and wholesaler. Are you kidding me? Like everyone in the office is vaping, you know, and stuff like that. And most of my friends, like the last few years at least, have drawn down to coworkers because it's just so much easier. You know what I mean? So it would be different because, like, yeah, I haven't really gone out in public, so I guess I'll have to give you an update on this when I decide to, like, you know, go outside and die of COVID or whatever again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell you this though, we went out yesterday. I had a bunch of stuff going on yesterday during the day. I had to rush out around 3:30 or so, go to the mall because that's where the pharmacy is. I had to get a prescription filled, and we walked around a little bit and waited because that's what happens. Picked it up and grabbed some things from the pharmacy, left. And as we get into the car, the wife grabs her vape and vapes, and she looks at me and she's like, "You not vaping?" It's like, "No, I left it at home." Look at her face is just like, "You left your... You're a vaping YouTuber. You went out of the house." No.
Poser!
Yeah.
He's a foodie! He's a big foodie!
Like I just left it at home. I waited. I had a quick puff on hers. It was like, nah, don't like your juice. I'll wait.
We're gonna
Wait
see
until I got
ads
home.
now. Steve's not even really into this. He's the new Rip Trippers.
Yeah.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. I'm offended.
Notice how he took a big hit to prove it? It was like,
But Steve, would you call yourself, you know, like you're a pretty what am I trying to say here? You have a lot of toots during the day, that you know, a lot of hits. Yeah.
Yeah, constantly. Like I'm not out. I'm at home. I'm not at work. I'm not traveling. So yeah, I'm at home. I'm hitting it all day long.
Yeah.
And I go to the bathroom. It comes with me.
Yeah.
If I go sit in the other room, it comes with me. And if I start talking to the wife, I'm like, hold on a sec. I'll go get my vape. I'll come back.
Yeah.
So it's there. I'm hitting it all day long. So the idea of going out for an hour or so and not having any, you would think that I'm saying I compulsively hit all day long, that I wouldn't be able to do that. But it's actually the other way around. It's like, I'm saturated. I'm fine. I don't have to.
Yeah. And
I agree with Steve on that. I don't take my vape sometimes to places out in public, knowing that, like, you know, if we go out to eat with the family or whatever, or like go to like bowling or something, you know, sometimes I'll leave it home just because I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, you know, because like Steve, I mean, all of us here, I'm sure we're like, you know, we're like chain vaping or we're hitting it consistently through the day. But a lot of times I like to do that so that, you know, it gives me a little bit of, like, you know, a little bit of a confidence boost that, like, you know what, I do this because I enjoy it, not because I need it.
Yeah. A couple of comments there. Don't shave, Steve, for the love of vape, from Matthew Welch there. And Neil Pitts is just making sure, he's just asking for the public safety announcement, you know. Are you getting dry scalp from vaping? No knuckles, none of that.
Nope.
But the other thing that we always talk about when you have, you know, spent a bit of time and you're no longer dual using all that, and you're, you know, let's just call it an X amount of time into vaping, you know, there's no doubt that that nicotine pang that you once had when you were a cigarette smoker, I mean, I can
much
go
softer.
out. Yeah. You know, I mean, you know, are we going to hit it if it's here on the desk? Yes. You know, if you took it away from me for 45 minutes, am I going to be in the same, you know, physical frame of mind as it would have been if you took my cigarettes away back in the day? You know, I would have been putting my hand through the wall. So, there's no doubt it's a little easier to deal with when you have it. I'm kind of the same. If the circumstance means that, you know, it's not appropriate, then, yeah, I can 100% won't take it with me. Or take my Caliburn, you know, like that's literally it. But if there's the opportunity blow some weather systems, then yes, I'm going to do that. You know.
The only time I ever get fiendy about it, you know, like I need it, is when I can't find it. And when I can't find it is when I'm like, you goddamn, you know, I sound like Alex Jones, like, you son of a bitch, I'm flipping up chairs, I'm looking over, you know, stuff. Like the other day, like, you know, I was COVID brain, I was all messed up, I had like 16 ounces of fucking Dayquil and NyQuil inside me, you know, I was all like, and I couldn't find it, and I was looking for it, I was like, I flipped up the couch, I flipped up my recliner chair, I found one I lost 6 months ago in the chair, so now I have another one. Anyways, and then the whole time I'm looking for it, it was in my hand. I was holding it in my hand, looking for it. Like, it's so easy for like how small this thing is. I was like this. I was like lifting up the couch like this, and I was like, where the hell is it? Like, I was like, God dang it. And I was like, I can't find it. Oh, wait a second. And I hit it. Like, that's the only time though I get like, oh, I need my vape, is when I can't find it. If I, you know what I mean? If I know where it's at, oh, it's in the other room. Then I'll get up in a little bit. I'm lazy. I'm tired, or I don't want to do it right now. But as soon as I'm like, I reach for it and I can't find it, I'm like.
That's life lessons. Check your hands first. Yeah.
We've got a Chromecast on the TV that we use. And it's got a little tiny remote. It's about yay big. If you know the Geek Vape Wenax, it's about the same size as that pod system. And, you know, it's like, it's been a game changer. I don't have to stream from my phone. Everything's collated. We watch 5 shows. They're intermingled on different streaming services. It's great. And also, it hooks to the TV, so I don't have to get up, turn the TV on, or change the volume. It's all with the remote. It's awesome. And so we watched some shows the other night, me and the wife. And the next day we go, 24 hours later, dinner's done, time to watch do our family time. What's the fucking remote? Flipping everything around, up. There's the fucking remote. My wife, she likes to Geek Vape Wenax. She's got a couple of them. One of them's white. This is a white remote. I'm like, you fucking taken that, haven't you? You've hidden that somewhere. I'm looking in her room. She's like, did I leave it in the kitchen? We're looking around. Eventually, like 45 minutes into it, it's like, fuck it. You can control it with the phone. We'll use the phone. Yeah. I'm not happy. The whole thing, I'm distracted. I'm like, oh. Halfway through, I let her watch the rest of that show. I'd already seen it, and I went and looked in the kitchen more for it. Next day, I get up, and I'm doing this thing, and the next thing, and I pick up my shorts, and I come through, and as I'm sitting down, oh, it's in my pocket. It's in the pocket of my shorts. It's so small that I'd completely forgot. I don't know. I never even carried it. I don't know why it was in my shorts. But yeah, I go back through and I'll just look at her and go, I didn't even show her I had it. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And she's like, you found it was in shorts, wasn't it? I'm like, yeah.
Yes.
I always lose this one in my pocket all the time because you can push right to the edge of, like, you know, I always wear jeans. I like to wear jeans, whether it's shorts, pants, whatever. And like when you're feeling real quick feels, you know, like the taps or whatever, yeah. It just feels like the seam of your jeans, or it's like down in the bottom part where you're not feeling deep enough, you know, into your pocket and stuff. And that happens to me all the time too. I'll be sitting there, I'll be freaking out, like I can't find it, and then reach in my pocket and it's freaking right there. But I do have a question, because as a guy that works for a large vape retailer, wholesaler, and I've done pictures of all this stuff, I don't know what model this is of the Caliburn.
That's the OG.
Yeah.
The OG, okay.
Yeah.
So there you go, Trav, man. It's this one, the OG.
The original.
We've only had these, and, you know, I'll be honest with you, like, my knowledge with vaping stuff is more, you know, I do more of a marketing standpoint of stuff. And don't get me wrong, I know how to do some stuff here and there, but if you're going to ask me to name you all these products, I've taken pictures of probably maybe like 70% of what has been out in the market. Do I remember any of it? Absolutely not. Yeah. Absolutely not. I don't care what the RDE is called. I'm just going to make it look good. Make up some bullshit in the caption.
The same thing goes for everyone, I think. It's like, if you're 6 months in, you know what's come out in the last 6 months. You've heard of the big names. You might not be able to identify them by sight, but you've heard of them, and you know what's coming because you're on Instagram all the time. That's your 6 month to a year standard. After like 4 or 5 years, you know certain things that you've loved. You might know a few other things, but a lot of the stuff that you do know, you've forgotten that you know. Like, you could show me a picture of something that I reviewed 4 years ago, and I'd be like, yeah, that's that thing by those guys. I like that one.
Yeah.
whatever it was called. I can't remember.
The second release.
Yeah, like seriously, trying to remember like which Vaporesso device was I reviewing 3.5 years ago. I don't fucking remember and you know, if it's a straight name, like, you know, the Elysium or the Abyss or something straightforward, the Goon, that's fine. But as soon as you start adding version numbers and then, you know, it's the Goon
How many Dead Rabbit
GTA
RDAs are there?
1.5 Squonking edition. I'm like, how the fuck do I know which one is which? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I know what's on my
If you
desk.
showed me if you showed me the deck of some stuff, I could tell you right away because like I'm not a big RDA guy. You guys see me, like, you know, I use a caliber and stuff like that. But if I photographed it and I liked the way it looked, I'll remember that forever. Layer Cake's one of my favorites to photograph, you know, like the Dang. All the OG recoils and stuff like that, I'm not a big fan of, you know, of those. But you can recognize that kind of stuff. But if you didn't have the logo on the cap, that's an RDA, dude. That's an RDA. Like I know I'm not making fun of anyone here, but I have 10 million things otherwise to think about. And my knowledge of things, especially with stuff that I'm never going to use again, it's my head's a dumpster. You fill it up and then dump it out. Fill it up with more bullshit. Dump it out. Fill it up with more bullshit.
Yeah.
Dump it out. Can I tell you what it goes to? Yeah, it's a vape. But can I tell you what all the stats are?
You put stuff in it and you do stuff with it.
Yeah. You put juice in it that's probably terrible, and then you vape it and you hate it. You're welcome.
Yeah. That's $39.95. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. $69.95.
60. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot the changeover conversion. Yeah. All that was all the stuff I got, fellas. That was basically all I brought.
I have some news that I could share.
News.
Within the next couple weeks, you will see brands like Anarchist, Vapor Treats, Atom Bomb back for sale on the websites where you can buy them from, like ejuicedb.com, Vapor Ranger, and some other places, because it is official. We are starting to use tobacco-free nicotine now. And so TFN, I haven't been able to test any of it yet. We actually don't have any of it ready to go as of this moment, but within the next couple weeks, you can go to ejuicedb.com to get all the OG lines of Anarchist. We've got some new flavors of that. Vapor Treats, and it's also been rebranded, and it's a lot cleaner. No pictures of stuff on the bottles and things like that. You know, it's color coordinated, kind of like the Anarchist is. You know, it's a little bit cleaner on labels. But that will be available very soon, within the next few weeks.
Interesting. Oh, that's huge news. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that mean, like, I don't know if I should ask this on the show, on the live stream, but does that mean that...
I'll answer it if I can.
Yeah. Will there be some social medias coming back?
As of right now, you can still find all the pages on Facebook. If you guys didn't know, I talked about it before on the local vape pages and stuff like this. If you guys didn't know, I do social media for local vape enterprises, which is Anarchist, Vapor Treats, Atom Bomb, Malicious Manufacturing. They create probably 80% of the juices you see in the market today. Anyways, long story short, some stuff has gone down with certain FDA regulations, stuff like that. So right now, back when they took away, this is a name I know everyone will recognize. It's like Turk's page. I don't know if you guys remember. Instagram shut down Turk, and they also the same day got rid of the Anarchist page. They didn't give me any reason why. They didn't tell us what we could do to fix it. We followed every guideline and rule because if you know me, and it's for my job. Bitch, you fucking playing. I'm putting that fucking nicotine label on cotton. I'm putting that on wire. I know nichrome doesn't come with nicotine. Shut the fuck up. But, anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
But so, we follow the rules pretty well and stuff like that. And for no reason, they shut it down. So, as of right now, all of our Instagram pages are disabled. They are, except for Anarchist. We don't know if we're going to get it back or not. But, Local Vape, Vapor Treats, all those pages, we have them disabled right now while we deal with what's going on with the FDA and all this stuff because... they are changing things with advertising and going through, and old stuff's not grandfathered in at this point, apparently. Mm-hmm. So if you have to go through now, and if you guys know about it, Local Vape has been around for 8 years. When I first started working there, we would post three posts a day on every page every day, and so if we've got to go through and delete that stuff, it's going to take me 46 fucking years. Anyway, so that stuff's gone. There's no IG pages for that, but you can still find the brands on Facebook: Anarchist Manufacturing, Anarchist MFG, Local Vape, Vapor Treats, all that stuff on Facebook. Which, yes, I'm sorry, you have to go on Facebook. Believe me, I don't like Facebook either. but that's where we're doing stuff, and so that's where we would be dropping information about when it's going to be released and stuff. I do want to point out right here, I did see a question in the chat where someone was like,
Travman?
Travman, yeah, he said Anarchist Pink on Ice. Absolutely, Anarchist Pink on Ice. Every flavor that we had before will be available in the TFNs. And the fun thing about the TFNs is that it bypasses the FDA deeming rules and all that stuff for nicotine products. And so I'm not saying that this is what's going to happen, but if companies make new products right now under the TFN labels, no one knows what's really going on. But as of now, you should be fine without having to be pressured by the government. So there might be new flavors coming out. Again, I work for these companies. I am not the voice of these companies unless you message the pages, and then I won't talk to you about any of this shit. But this is me saying my personal stuff right now is that there might be some new stuff coming down the line because of this, and just keep an eye out. But like I said, if you want to know information on this stuff, follow the Facebook pages. They're not super active right now because we are still dealing with the FDA figuring out, like, you know, what we can and can't do as far as advertising and promoting things. So right now you're going to see a lot of the international brands that we manufacture as, like, you know, only available internationally, not for U.S. consumers and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. But just keep an eye out. There'll be some information on there. But yeah, every flavor that was available before will be available in the TFN. And it will be available for sale on websites such as eJuiceDB and Vape Ranger if you're a wholesaler, Midwest Goods, and a couple of other places.
A little question there from Sewer Rug. Needs to try the Anarchist Marshmallow. Was that the red bottle?
No, Anarchist with the marshmallow is Anarchist White. It is a cinnamon graham cracker, and that is, like, I get it. I work for him. I'm wearing the sweater. No, I'm not trying to like promote him, but I will say that if you want to try Anarchist White, that is my absolute favorite dessert on top of every dessert flavor, and I do not vape desserts.
Yeah, it's true. He does not. Yep.
No. I pissed off Dwayne last week because he was like, hey, dude, try my 2 lines. Let me know how it goes because you're not going to S my D like everyone else would. Absolutely. Gave him my honest opinion. You goddamn son of a bitch. Like, no. No, I'm just not the guy to ask for dessert stuff, but if that's your kind of thing, you guys know Homeboy can't miss. A lot of y'all like that stuff. But I'm honest. There's desserts I don't like, and desserts are not my thing, but if I were to ever suggest a dessert, I would suggest Anarchist White, so... Yeah. Yeah.
Big Rick has IG shut down vape store pages. Also, I think you'll find it's very consistent in being completely inconsistent.
Yeah, there's no direct there's no direct information. If any of you have ever worked in a social media job or even on your personal pages or you run a business, have you ever tried to contact Facebook? They don't have a contact number. They don't have an email. They do not message you. You cannot ask them questions. This is the biggest sham in all things of the whole fucking world. Is Facebook is metaverse, whatever the bull crap you want to call it. It's the biggest bullshit ring of anything in the world. You can't get in contact with these guys. I've been messaging numbers. I've been looking up phone numbers for the corporate offices. I've even tried to call these people on personal cell phones and stuff that I have found that are in the company, and I either get blocked, hung up on, or don't answer. And so there's no consistency. But yes, there has been pages that are vape companies or vape stores that have been shut down. And the thing is like you'll see these people like vape shops and stuff like that. They're not using the warning labels right. You have to use that warning label. It's a law. It is a legal law in the United States if you're a U.S.-based company, even if your business does not provide business your products in the U.S. If you are based in the U.S., you have to use the warning label at the top. And like I said, you put it on everything that's vape-related, whether it's Event Backpack, Anarchist Wire, coils for your fucking Caliburn, or pods for your Caliburn if it's coils. A lot of companies, because they see these big names, and like I'm not trying to call anyone out here, but you would see like people like Turk or Homeboy or Coil Turd, or I'm not trying to call people out again, just so you guys know, but all these big names, they don't do any of that. Government can come and get me. Well, guess what? They may not come and get you right away, but they're going after the small shops because these small shops are like Billy Bob Smoke Shop. They're not doing it. I'm not going to do it. They're way more famous. Guess what? Your account's way easier to shut down than the rest of them. You're going to get shut down, and it's going to happen. Please take the time to read up on what you can and cannot do, because it's going to affect your business, especially for a vape shop or a vape brand. How do you advertise? You can't do it on the radio. You can't do it on the TV. You can put it on your website and maybe buy Google ads. Guess what? You can't do that either, because it's illegal to advertise nicotine in that way. So if you're going to use social media to advertise your businesses, that's anything vape related, please look it up. If you have small questions, or you're a small time guy, like you're a DIY guy and you're moving into like selling to people or anything like that, I am always open to field some questions, and I can help you to a degree with certain things. Am I going to build your page for you? No. Am I going to do these posts for you and add these labels for you? No. And all this stuff? No. But I will show you where to get the resources you need to do things to keep you more in line, so that you avoid the risk of being shut down for some stupid fucking reason that is stupid. Like, all this it's all bullcrap to me anyways. You can have people on Instagram, I'm not complaining here, girls in G-strings chugging fucking a whole glass of Chardonnay or whatever at the same time while it's dripping down her boobs and all that stuff. Or you can have alcohol commercials where it's people in the back of a truck, it's pouring Cristal on each other or whatever the hell it is. But goddamn, if you want some vapey strawberry stuff, they're gonna shut you down. So long story short, if you need help, please reach out. I will get you some resources that will help you, or I can point you in the right direction. If you need some stuff beyond that, where it's more of a, you're probably gonna have to pay someone to do something, I can push you in the right area. I can also be hired as an independent contractor to do some things, but then again, I'm not going to go on forever here. You just tell me if you need help, and I will push you in the right areas. Because if you've noticed, a lot of pages have got shot down. One out of the 9 or 10 that we have that's a pretty good run, and I got to tell you, we're doing better than a lot of other people.
Yeah. I'm sure you've got something to say about this, but Neil Pitts is saying there, does anyone know where to get Mango Paradise by Space Jam? Surely I would be contacting some of those distro companies that you were talking about, Chris. Is it Midwest, one of the bigger ones?
I would say if you want to do it legally right now, Midwest Goods, they have the USPS thing. But Space Jam, I don't even think they make Space Jam anymore.
Yeah, that's an older company, right? Too.
That's the one juice that whenever it's brought up, that I've always been told that was the best juice I've ever seen. Why don't they still make it? I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, Space Jam, as far as I know, is not in production. It's not been found. You might find some clones of stuff going on, out there and stuff. Because, that's what happens in this industry and stuff like that. But as far as being available, I don't personally speak to these guys, but I interact with them through email and stuff like that. That has not been a name that's been available since I have been working in the industry for the past 4 or 5 years. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen it anywhere because I tried to find it, because everyone beefs that juice and that brand up immensely. Mm-hmm. So
surely that's also a good little thing to say. If there's any products you want, you'd be emailing or contacting those distro companies, right? Because that would get them on board to get it in. So what you
want to do, yeah. So I wouldn't say you personally as a consumer contact a distribution company, because to be honest with you, you're not going to get anywhere with it. You're one customer that wants one thing. What you need to do is, if you buy from an online shop, right, tell that online shop, hey, I will guarantee to buy, and if you want to buy this juice, I'll buy 4 or 5 if you can get it. 4 or 5, whatever. Or you tell the shop that you go to, hey man, can you get this? Blah, 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 come here, can you get this juice or whatever? You can't find it. Tell that shop where they can reach out to. Be like, hey, I want this juice really bad, and I know Midwest can get it. Guess what? Their shop, they get it at the wholesale price. They can reach out there, and they can get it to the shop, and they can get it in. You as a consumer, as one person contacting a distribution company, hey, I really like this one juice. I need 1 bottle of it. Not to sound rude or nothing, nobody wants anything to do with you, because that's one sale that they're going to get, and most places can't retail to you directly anyways. So go into your shop or your online store that you buy from and shoot them an email. Hey, blah, 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 I've been a customer here for however long, blah, blah, I've been buying from you, just to show that, you're actually interested in it and you're worth the time that's going to take for these companies to reach out to these other companies to get pricing, to work on a deal, haggle the price down or whatever it's going to have to be, figure out the logistics of how they're going to ship it if it's a company that doesn't have their USPS certification and do this. So it's actually, you know, a lot of work on the back end, but if you can guarantee a sale, I guarantee most of these shops and these distribution people will work for you and get it done. But contact your shop that you buy from, or the people that you buy from, and have them reach out, because what you're doing is helping network a community of the vaping community together for more connections, which builds us stronger, and it also creates more of access to the products that you want and that other people might also want as well.
Yeah, Hundy P. Fellas, we're at that time. Mr. Legion, would you like to tell the wonderful viewers what you have coming up this week, sir?
Oh, lots of things. Tomorrow I got the review for the Hadron Light coming up. That'll be going live about 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. Thursday we have the usual, have a chin wag and a coffee with Steve. Somewhere during the week I'll be doing the Eris, hopefully filming that tomorrow. So maybe Thursday or Friday that'll go live. Sunday we have the usual Aussie Vape Show. And yeah, brings us back around to this thing next week.
Nice.
That's about it.
Nice, sir. Nice. Mr. Chris.
We will be back for the 2-week postponed Friday Fallout High School episode, where we tell our embarrassing best and worst stories from high school. Shout out to Anthony, because, man, like, there'll be sometimes, like, you know, I get into, like, my mode where I'm like, I don't want to do anything. He usually drags me out of it, but you can't drag me out of COVID. That shit was kicking my ass. But we will be back this week with our show, the Friday... Well, wow. We will be back on the Friday Fallout. We'll have the high school episode. We'll have a bitchin' game all set up. And honestly, I'm a little scared because Anthony's had 2 weeks to create a bunch of stuff. I don't know what you guys are going to get. I don't even know what we get. I show up. I serve the looks. Anthony serves the content. I throw in a little bit of content that I half-assed put together because, you know, I'm stressed out or I'm, you know, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, we'll be back. Anthony, me, and Snorkel, and then maybe a Geekus. We'll see. Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it'll be a good time.
Yeah. Awesome. To Pam and Dave in the chat, we send you all the love in the world. It's a shit situation, and I'm sorry that you even have to type those things into a chat. That's ridiculous. Yeah. We want to thank you.
Start filling up my Caliburn pods with alcohol and start chugging it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you got to do 50 whiskey, 50 bourbon. No, don't do that. We want to thank you all for watching on your YouTubes and your face holes for another Amigos Co Monday/Tuesday. We will see you next week, hopefully with some more news and stuffs. Legion, Chris, thank you, fellas. All y'all in chat, thank you very much. Big love. What's the closing? Drink more water. Hug those you love the most, and get some sleep. And we will see you next week, no doubt.
We will
See you next week.
Stay safe, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.